for jobs in Denmark. And what I mean by research is not necessarily how to research which jobs to apply for, but also researching when you found the job. But let's start with finding the companies and the jobs, because that's, of course, the best way to start. um, First of all, when you're looking for what jobs to apply with, I, of course, I encourage you to go to LinkedIn and jobindex.dk. Those are the two main platforms. LinkedIn can be a bit hard in Denmark because Denmark is a fairly small market for jobs in Denmark. Here on my YouTube channel, in the long form videos, I have a video that show you how to apply for jobs or how to use Job Index to apply for jobs. I do want to say with that, though, that it's the old layout of Job Index, but the search, the way you search is kind of the same, because you can use different ways to search, like pluses and asterisks and stuff like that when you search. And let me go have a look at what it's called real quick, because I don't remember. Let's see here. So yeah, you want to do that. It is called Mastering Job Index: Tips and Tricks for Job Seeking, for job seekers. So that you can go and find, and it's one of the first videos I posted on this channel. There's also another smart thing in that video, and that is that JobIndex has an archive function, which is really good research tool. So if we're looking more broadly for what kind of positions, or what are the companies usually looking for when they're looking for a project manager, for example, you can kind of go into the archives and see, oh, okay, project manager positions in Denmark, here's 15 that's not necessarily available anymore, but this is what they were looking for. This is what was important in this kind of position. Or you can use the archive for that in specific companies and say some companies have a lot of job postings, right? And not all of them are in the archive, so that's something to be aware of course. But you can go and you can kind of see, okay, so let's say you want to apply for a job with Lego and you want to apply for a job, let's keep to the project manager. Then you can go and say, hey, for the past 2 years, whenever Lego has been looking for a project manager, what has been the main focus in these positions? You can go into JobDex and try and find those. Again, I think Lego is one of the companies where they are there, but some companies have do not have like their archived job posts in there. GDPR, or either it's GDPR, depends on where they are hosted when they were posted on LinkedIn or on Job Index, because some companies host on their own websites, even though they have the post up on Job Index, and then it's not in the archive. But that's a great way to do research for kind of knowing what is it that the company is looking for. What is it? What are the values that show up again and again, despite it being different positions? Um, and then another way to research, if you're like, hey, I want to, for example, right now, Novo Nordisk, it's going to be really hard to get a job at Novo Nordisk, would be my best guess. They've just let us know that they are planning on letting 9,000 people go on a worldwide basis, which is a lot of people, I have to say. But then you can kind of say, okay, I know that there's not a lot of a chance with Novo, but maybe there are companies that are like Novo that I could find, and it can be really hard to figure that out, even if you are, or even more so if you're not based in Denmark yet. But that is a very, very smart, there's a very smart way to actually do this, and that is to use something called the CVR register. And what that is that all companies in Denmark, they have an identification number. Um, so you can go into cvr.dk and you can simply look up those companies. And then when you register a company in Denmark, you need to choose an activity code. So there are all these different activity codes. So you're kind of categorizing your own company. And when you choose that, so you put yourself in this category, right? So if you want to find companies like Novo, or it could be any company basically that's based in Denmark, then you can go in to the CVR register and you can look at, so they registered under this type of activity code, what other companies did that as well. Hi Jordan, nice to see you. I also have a full-length video on that, and that is called the Ultimate Job Hunters Tool, using the CVR register to find your dream companies. And that is also on um, on my channel here. My name is Diana. Thank you for asking. So that's a good way to kind of find companies that you are interested in, that you can follow, find companies that you can maybe reach out to. And then when it comes to, let's say that you found a job that you really want to apply for, and you're like, okay, now I need to figure out how to make the best application material possible. The first thing is to, of course, look at the job description itself. So if there's a job description, then you read through that very meticulously, and um, and look at, like, what are they asking for? What's important in this? What kind of questions would I have? And then you research them. And again, talking about research in this video is that you Google them, you YouTube them, you um, search them on Facebook, all like social media platforms, newspapers, stuff like that, ChatGPT or whatever, like AI, large language model you use. Look at them, look up the company, and see if there's anything to be aware of, anything that can either answer the questions you have based on the job description, or if some other answers come up or questions come up for you. And then if there is a phone number in the job ad, which there tend to be in a lot of job ads in Denmark, you can call them and ask your questions, because I will put you further ahead in the race, because you're already here creating a connection with the hiring manager or the recruitment partner to help you get the interview, right? So when you call, you ask some really, really good questions that shows that you know what you're talking about, but also gives you more information to help you out when you write your material. And then you kind of do the same again when you get the job interview. Then you also do a shit ton, sorry for the language, but a shit ton of research again. Um, and again, use the CVR register again, other than being able to give you the overview and search for, like, what other companies are there, like the one I'm currently looking at. It also has a huge amount of additional information about different companies that you can see in there. You can see whether they are in a, like, I think it's on a quarterly basis. They tell you if they kind of, how many people are hired, so you can kind of see tendencies if they're in a hiring or firing period. So there's a lot of good information in there as well. And the company website, look up the yearly report for the company if it's available, stuff like that. Like, really do research. Cucumber YouTube. Hi. nice to meet you. Or, well, nice to see you here. Ish. Live. thank you for being here. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, that is how I would do research on this, and knowing that the way to stand out in the Danish job market when you're applying for a new job really is to focus on what is the value you can bring to the company. And a lot of that is more easy to focus on in your material if you've done your research, and if you can like say, hey, I know that this is what the pain points are, this is where they actually need help. So really like seeing, okay, that makes a lot of sense, this is what I'm going to focus on in my application. And with the question I ask them when I call them, with the questions I do in the interviews, stuff like that. So the research is a super, super important part of job search, which people tend to kind of forget sometimes. And a lot of people just start by sending standard CVs, and very seldomly that works. And especially it will work sometimes if you have a spot on profile, and maybe not even none, or in specific industries where it can be really, really hard to find the real or the right people for the companies, that can work. But in general, I would say it's always better to do the research and show them how to be the candidate that they are actually missing, instead of just sending them generic search material. So this is day, oh my god, 13 of my 30-day life challenge. Tomorrow, I'm just looking at my list here, I am going to talk about searching for let me see. I'm going to talk about how to find the jobs that match your skills instead of just job titles. So I look forward to going live tomorrow and sharing that with you as well. For now, have an amazing rest of your day, and see you soon. Bye.